Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Today's focus will be on our core. So, we're not just thinking of abs, it's core. So, basically, your entire trunk. We're trying to strengthen it. So, if you have a block, go ahead and grab one. If not, a rolled up blanket is great, or maybe a thick pillow, just kind of whatever you have. So, let's go ahead and get started on our back. We're going to come down to our back, knees pointed towards the ceiling, soles on the floor, arms are long by our side. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under. Start to deepen your breath. Lengthen your exhales. And start to notice any areas of tension, maybe areas of softness. Just noticing them, turning your attention inward. Giving yourself this time on the mat, feeling all four corners of both of your feet press into the mat, having active feet, pressing your lower back into the mat, pressing all 10 finger pads, grounding yourself, dropping your shoulders away from your ears. And one knee at a time, let's hug our legs into our chest. And remember, you can always grasp behind your thighs if you need a little bit more space, bringing the legs a little bit wider. Hug them into your chest and then guide them over to the right side of your mat. And this is the first opportunity to use a block. So maybe we put a block underneath our knees. And with your arms, you could tee them out. You could take to some cactus arms. And if it feels good in your body, you can gaze over to the left. And using your core, or you can guide your leg, bring one leg and then the next up to center, squeeze them in towards your chest, and then lay them down on the left side of the mat, maybe placing a block underneath those knees. If you did so on the other side, maybe you tee your arms out or put them in a cactus. And perhaps you gaze towards your right fingertips. Lift one knee and then the other. You can set your block aside if you were using one. Hug the knees into the chest, and then holding your right leg, send your left leg long. And if you'd like, you can set it down on the mat or hover it just about an inch or two above the mat. Let's point the toe and lift just maybe a foot or two off the ground. And you can release it back down. Flex your foot, push through your heel, and lift that leg back down. Point your toes, lift the leg, and set it back down. Bring that leg in, extend your right leg, And again, you can rest it on the mat or you can hover it slightly above. Point the toes, lift it about a foot or two off the ground, and release it back towards the mat. Flex your foot, really push through that heel, lift the leg, and then lower it back down. Point, lift the leg, and set it back down. Tucking both legs in, squeeze them into your chest, and then bring your legs to where the shins are parallel to your mat. All right. Place your hands long by your side. Press all 10 finger pads into the mat and press your lower back into the mat. So there shouldn't be any space between your hips and your upper back. You want to press that into the mat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lower our legs, pressing our back into the mat, and tap the mat. And then lift back up. Slowly as you need, with control, because we want to press that lower back into the mat and lift back up. If you need to, we can do one leg at a time. Maybe that's a bit easier. Just continue at your own pace, slowly lowering and lifting back up. The focus should be control. Keeping that lower back pressed down. All right, let's take one more. And then lower the soles all the way to the mat. All right, we're setting up for bridge pose. So we want our feet hip width apart. Arms are long by our side. Let's tuck our shoulder blades under. We're going to press our lower back into the mat and then lift our hips. Pointing those knees, really pressing them to the front of the mat, making sure we have even weight between our shoulders, pressing into the soles of our feet, and lower slowly back down. Releasing that lower back off the mat, and then pressing the lower back into the mat, and then raising our hips. Bridge pose. Continuing to breathe. Raise your hips a bit higher, and then slowly lower down to the mat. Let's walk our feet out just a slightly bit wider than hip width apart, focusing on keeping our knees the same distance apart. Whenever we lift our hips, we're going to press our lower back, lift the hips, pressing the knees forward, keeping them the same distance apart as when their back is on the ground. And slowly lower all the way back down. Hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to start to rock back and forth until we're up in a seated position. And then from here, we can either side saddle to come up to tabletop, or you can cross your legs and come up to tabletop that way. All right, so we're going to move through some cat cows. So inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward. Exhale, round the spine, drop the chin, tuck the pelvis. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, drop the chin, tuck the pelvis. Come to a neutral. We're going to walk our hands back, and you can either stand up on your knees or sit back, and we're just going to stretch out the wrists a little bit. So let's do some circles. Maybe you switch directions. You can lightly press the backs of the hands into the mat. And then the palms, just stretching those wrists out. We're going to be on our hands a lot for this practice. Walk your hands back out, wrists under shoulders, knees hip width apart. And we're going to tuck our toes and we're going to lift our knees slightly off the mat. Bear pose. Continuing to breathe. And release to the mat. 2 more times. Lift the knees. And set it back down. Last time. Lift the knees just about an inch or 2 off the mat. And release. Drop the tops of your feet and open up your hips lift your right knee to the right, opening up that hip, and bring it back down to the mat, and lift your knee to the back, bringing your heel towards your glute, and set it back down on the mat. Lift your left knee out to the left, opening up your hips, set it back down, and kick it back, reaching your heel towards your glute. Set it all back down. Right knee to the right side, opening up, center, kick it back, heel towards glute, and then gaze up, coming into a slight back bend. Drop it back to the mat. Left knee, opening up to the left, bring it back down, and kick it behind you, gazing forward for a slight back bend. Set everything back down. If you need to, roll out your wrists, other way, and walk your hands a little bit forward, tuck your toes, and press up to plank pose. Great. Now, you can stay here. You can also be down on your knees if that feels better in your body today. But we're going to lift the right leg, working on some balance. Press evenly into the palms. Set that right foot back down. Come down to your knees. Sit back to child's pose for just a moment. Rise back up. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, plank. And now we're going to lift the left leg. Set your left foot down, drop the knees, and we're going to touch child's pose. Sink the hips back. Rise back up into tabletop. Extend the right leg long. Point the toes and lift the left arm. Now bring your knee to your elbow underneath you, slowly and with balance, and press it back out. Crunch it in with control. Press it back out. Last time. Back out. Set everything down. Extend the left leg long. Point the toes. Lift the right arm. And crunch your knee to your elbow with control. Back out. Continuing to breathe. Crunch everything in. And press it back out. Last time. Crunch it in. Extend. And set everything down. We're going to walk our knees out, and we're going to sit our hips back for a wide-legged child pose. Extend the arms forward, set your head down. If you need to, you can always set a block underneath your seat, or it could always come underneath your forehead, whatever feels comfortable for you in your wide-legged child's pose. We're going to walk out, back out to tabletop. We're going to extend our left leg behind us, flex your toes, and we're going to drop that left leg behind us, spin the right leg off the mat, and open up to side plank. Now, we're going to keep a firm foundation, and we're going to thread our left arm underneath our right arm, threading the needle. Press back up and open, gaze to your fingertips, and let's do it again. Thread the needle. Nice and slow, we're moving with control. Open back up. Last time. And open back up. Set your left arm down and bring your left knee to the mat. Meet back in tabletop. Send your right leg back, cross it behind you, spin your left foot off the mat, and open up to side plank. Get a nice firm foundation, and then thread the right hand underneath the left. Opening back up, going as slowly as you need to. Thread the needle. And open back up. Last time, thread the needle. And open back up. And then meet me back in tabletop. Walk your hands slightly out in front of you. Tuck your toes and press up to downward facing dog. Maybe you pedal out the feet. Wag the tail. Okay. You can stay here, or you can start to tent your fingers. Maybe you even lift the right hand off the mat. And maybe if you feel like you have a strong foundation, you reach back and touch the left toes. And then set that hand back down. Get reestablished in your downward facing dog. Start to tent the left fingers. You can stay there, or you can lift the left hand. And maybe you reach back towards your right toes. And then set everything down. Float your knees down to the mat. Setting up for our wide-legged child's pose, walking our knees out. And then sink the hips back towards the heels. Reach the hands forward, and maybe we rest our head on the mat. We could stack our fists. Come back up to tabletop. Extend the toes to the back of the mat, plank pose. And then on a count of 3, we're going to slowly lower all the way down to the mat. And you can do this from your knees. All right, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down to the mat. Rest the side of your head on the mat. Continue to breathe. Let's place our elbows underneath our shoulders, forearms on the ground, all 10 fingers pressed into the mat. Sphinx pose. Gaze forward if that feels good on your neck. If not, you can keep your gaze down towards the top of your mat. Now, turn your forearms out to about 45 degrees, and you can stay there, or pressing into your hands, press your stomach off the mat, seal pose. And then lower all the way to the mat. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, press up through tabletop, and then back to child's pose. Press back up to tabletop, either side saddle or cross your legs coming onto your seat. Extend your feet out long. We're going to set up for boat pose. So with your hands behind your thighs, you can bring one leg up and then the other. Another option is to just come up on your toes and begin to lean back. So if you're here or if you're here, just begin to lean back. Keep that back nice and flat. So tilt the pelvis forward and meet me wherever you are today. And maybe you keep your hands behind your thighs, or perhaps you let them out long. Maybe you're supporting yourself today. All of that is fine. And then set the legs back down. And lift your legs back up. Maybe you try extending your arms. Maybe you try extending your legs. That's going to be a little bit more difficult, but you could always support them. And lower them all the way to the ground. Last time. And now slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Tuck your knees in. And then drop your feet to your soles to the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, and then send them both over to the left. Maybe teeing out your arms. You could take a cactus arm. And if it feels good, you can gaze off to the right. Lift everything back up towards the center. Drop the right sole to the ground. Cross the left ankle over the right knee and send it over to the right side. Again, teeing your arms if you like, or cactusing them. And then gazing off to the left. Bring everything towards center. Bring your knees in. Bring your elbows on the inside of your knees. Grasp the outside of your feet, pointing them up towards the ceiling for your happy baby. And you can rock a little bit here. You could extend one leg and then the other, or you can just enjoy the stillness. Working to keep the lower back pressed into the mat. And then drop your soles to the mat and send your legs out long for our final pose. Tuck the shoulder blades under. Let the feet splay out to the side. Maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. Perhaps your palms are facing towards the ceiling, or maybe you need a little bit more grounding and you place them on the mat, rooting yourself, grounding yourself. Start to deepen your breath. Take a long, deep inhale, filling up. And then we're going to sigh it out. Exhale through the mouth. Let's do that again. Deep, full inhale. And then you're going to sigh it out. Exhale through the mouth. If you'd like to take a longer Shavasana, you can go ahead and turn the video off here. Or you can start to get yourself ready to sit up and start your day. So maybe taking a long stretch, lifting the knees and windshield wiping them back and forth. And just finding your way to a comfortable seat whenever you can. No rush. And once you're in that comfortable seat, inhale your arms overhead, gaze up towards your fingers, and then exhale, hands to heart. Giving yourself and your body gratitude for showing up on the mat today and taking this time for yourself. Thank you for being here. Namaste.